Mercedes-Benz has stolen a march with its new EQA 250, a small battery electric SUV that's affordably priced, for Mercedes-Benz buyers at least. Beyond price and prestige, however, what's it like to drive? Let's take a closer look and find out. An electric counterpart to the conventional GLA model, the EQA 250 is a small SUV package sitting below the EQC 400. For the moment, the EQA 250 has a market niche all to itself, but cheaper rivals include the Hyundai Kona Electric and the Kia Niro EV. Neatly but conservatively styled, the EQA embraces visual styling cues from the EQC, but in a GLA footprint, ensuring that this car won't be confused with either of its stablemates. The EQA 250 features a grille-like fascia to keep faith with the automotive industry's heritage, but without openings to draw in cooling air. There's little to reveal the EQA's electric nature. It's an attractive cab-forward design with a rising waistline in the bespoke style of a modern crossover SUV. The aerodynamic coefficient of drag is 0.28 CD, reflecting the EQA's short overall length. Benz claims that the output from the EQA's electric motor is around about the same as the 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine of the GLA 250. A single straight-cut gear multiplies the torque to the front differential, with a ratio chosen to optimise output from the electric motor driving the front wheels. With abundant torque at low speeds and the ability to rev much higher than a combustion engine, the electric motor gets by without the need for a multi-step transmission. Feature-packed and stylish, the interior of the EQA 250 conforms with ergonomic conventions of other models in the Benz range. Those unfamiliar with Benz control placement and operation may find the multifunction steering wheel with its thumb pads on the spokes initially confronting. The big MBUX touchscreen and digital instrument cluster provide an experience like the automotive equivalent of a visit to an IMAX cinema. Touchscreens are often a distraction for drivers, but the MBUX system in the EQA 250 won't keep the driver distracted too long. It's easy to use, and there's also this touchpad here to achieve the same thing. Features incorporated in the EQA 250's infotainment system include voice control, digital radio, satellite navigation, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The EQA 250 is yet to be assessed for crash safety, but it does come with all the right gear, including 9 airbags. By its nature, the EQA 250 is not large, but it does have this generous glove box. Plus, there's plenty of room for loose items in this covered bin, plus also under the centre armrest. There are cup holders located in the forward bin in the centre console, and fairly deep and useful bins in the doors. Built on the GLA's modular MFA2 platform, and riding a little higher than the A-Class or the CLA, the EQA 250 does allow people to squeeze into the back seats, but only just. There's more headroom and the hip point is higher, but legroom is adequate only for adults rather than generous. Rear seat occupants get their own side impact airbags in the seat base and adjustable vents as well. There are also 2 map pockets and additional cup holders inside the centre armrest, plus a Type-C USB port in the rear of the centre console and bottle holders in the door cards. So as compact as the EQA 250 is on the outside, it's also functional and efficient inside. Efficient though, rather than luxurious. With a lithium-ion battery located below the boot, there's acceptably good luggage space inside, and that luggage space can be expanded by flipping down the triple split folding rear seat. The EQA 250's powered tailgate is opened by a switch concealed in the corporate badge, and gesture control is standard also. But none of this is new to GLA owners. The important question remaining unanswered is this: what's the EQA 250 like on the road? Like other battery electric SUVs at around this price level, the EQA 250's performance won't set hearts aflutter, but it is effortless to drive. And for performance enthusiasts, there's an EQA 350 with 2 motors and all-wheel drive arriving in the market later this year. In the meantime, the EQA 250 rates as a quiet machine for open road touring and with sufficient output to keep ahead of traffic in suburbia. The EQA 250 being smaller, by nature it feels a little bit more agile than its larger counterpart, the EQC 400. It certainly handles quite nicely, steers well and turns in promptly. But the cheapies from Korea will give the EQA a run for its money in the ride and handling stakes. The Mercedes rides firmly in dynamic mode, but does win over passengers with a suppler ride quality in comfort mode. Even by the standards of electric vehicles, the larger EQC 400 Mercedes is very refined and quiet. And the smaller, more affordable EQA 250 builds on that. It's actually virtually in the same ballpark for refinement. During an extended test drive for the local launch of the EQA 250, the trip computer posted a commendable efficiency figure, close to the official ADR figure, as low as 18 kilowatt hours in heavy suburban traffic. Open up the taps in the countryside, however, and drivers can expect the figure to climb up to 26 kilowatt hours. But more sedate driving brings that back down to under 20 kilowatt hours, which is slightly better than the Nissan Leaf E+. It's hard to get a charge out of driving an electric SUV, it has to be admitted, but the EQA 250 is rewarding for its refinement and accomplished driving dynamics. When you're paying $66,000 on the road for a high-spec electric SUV from a South Korean brand, less than $11,000 more for the same thing from Stuttgart seems like good value. But the EQA 250 is not perfect, as is evident from the rear seat accommodation, which suits kids rather than adults. But I can't help liking the EQA 250 very much indeed. It's well appointed, it's electric, it's a Mercedes, and it's at an affordable price.